Hello and welcome back to Scriptcase by Jamie. And of course today is macro day, which we have every Friday, where we take one Scriptcase macro and show you exactly how to use it in real life, or should I say within your applications. And today's macro is the SC field style, perfect for giving your grid rows a little visual punch maybe, allowing you to be able to style those grid rows as you need dynamically. So let's have a look at the macro. So we have that here, SC field style, and then we would type that like so, SC underscore field underscore style, and there we have it. And like that we can then start to target first of all the field that we want to target, and that field can be whatever it's called. So I'll enter in here my field, and then following that we add a comma, and then we can define the color, the background color. So let me add that in here, the background color, and then comma, then we have the size that we may want to apply in here, and then we have the color of the text that we would want to apply, and don't forget those hyphens in there because you will be wanting those, otherwise it will give you an error message. Now after the font color, we can then also define the family of our font, and then finally we have our weight, and then just like that we can then apply our style. Now of course in between that we would want to maybe add our actual field in here. So then let's add our background color in there, and for there I'll use the 33 FF and 99, and then we have finally here our size. So we can take here our size, and with that we can then add our font size in pixels, and then we can add our font color. Now I would imagine you would want black there, so we can add black. And then for our font family, well, let's add of course the Arial sans serif, which is pretty boring but yet common. Okay, and then for the weight, well then we can define bold. And it's really as simple as that to use the SC field style macro. Now, of course, you want to see this macro working, and you may notice I have here the grid application open. So let me switch over to the grid that I have here, and you'll see that I have here applied already the SC field style, and I have assigned that to here the freight field, and I have applied a different color coding as well as font styling and font family, should I say, as well as the styling itself, so bold and the font size. Now if I go ahead and run that grid application, you'll see now that I am assigning here a color to that specific field dynamically within here this grid application. Now right now it's not very dynamic, but then here for instance I could define that if it is under a certain value or over a certain value, then it is red or it is green, or whatever color coding scheme that I want to apply depending on whichever values. You can very easily adjust that within your onRecord event. Now I should note that this macro only works within the grid application and the onRecord, so that is very important to note. And of course you can use it when you want your numbers to say maybe hey, I'm rich, or I'm poor. Okay, so with this macro, you can go ahead and style your grid application fields dynamically as and when you need to using this very basic macro. And I hope this macro has helped you a great deal for your Scriptcase project. And that is it for today's macro day. Don't forget to test this out in your own grid views. And of course, catch us next week Friday right here on Scriptcase by Jamie. And remember, always look on the bright side of macros, right? Unless you forget to close a PHP tag, of course, and then maybe your grid gods will not have so much mercy on you. Okay, until next week. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next video.